Hello, my friends. This is Dr. Ginny Barrow. Today is my first day back from vacation. I have to tell you, I am feeling it because I'm still on vacation mode, but I'm sitting here shooting my first video since I came back from Martha's Vineyard with my mom and my son. We spent a lovely week out there and the weekend in Boston, Massachusetts. And I am refreshed, replenished, restored. I'm ready to get back to work because I want to talk to you about a couple of things today. The first thing is that there is no such thing as work-life balance. We hear this a lot, right? People say, oh, how do I accomplish work-life balance? What I've learned over the past 30 years is that there is life-work integration. What does that mean? There are times when we need to work like crazy people because we have a deadline, a project is due, or we're publishing a book, or we have a Fearless Leaders Challenge coming up, like I did 2 weeks ago. Sometimes our work schedule requires us to put the pedal to the metal, as they say, and work super hard and do hours that we typically don't do during our typical workday. And then there are times when we have more time to relax and to unwind and to take it easier and to set the pace. So balance to me implies that things are always balanced, right? The same, work and life. And I've learned that that's not the case. That sometimes it could be life takes over and you have an emergency with your family, or you have another priority with your kids or parents or in your own life. Like when I was getting divorced, that was definitely taking so much of my bandwidth that it consumed so much of my mental capacity. So in that time, my life was taking over. And other times when I have projects due, when I have a project that I'm working on for my clients, when I am presenting or speaking at a conference or a summit, those are times when I need to prepare to make sure that I deliver value to my audience, and I will work many extra hours. And in those times, my work will take over my life. The key, however, is to know and to plan. So, in other words, if you know that the hard time, the long hours are coming up, that you set yourself up for success by creating the structure that will support you. In my case, I make sure that I get together with my team, that I dish out whatever task I need to help with so that I can dedicate my time to work on the most high priority pieces of the project that only I can work on while they take care of the other pieces. So I tend to delegate to give somebody else something to do while I focus on something else. That's one of the ways in which I help myself. I also build that structure when I plan ahead by not only delegating and letting my team know, but also putting it in my calendar so that I know when something's coming up and it doesn't catch me by surprise. I know that sounds extremely simple, but in so many cases, as you've heard, when we fail to plan, we plan to fail. So that's the first thing that I want to talk to you about. There's no such thing as life work balance. There is something I like to call life work integration. What does that look like for you, especially now during the summertime? Many people are on vacation here in the Western Hemisphere. So, what does that look like for you? What does that work life integration look like? And plan ahead so that you are not caught by surprise and then you find yourself under a lot of stress. And that's what we're trying to avoid. The second topic that I want to talk to you about today is about confidence. During the Fearless Leaders Challenge 2 weeks ago, I was teaching the concept that action equals confidence. We tend to think it's the other way around. I'll wait to have confidence to take action. And what I've learned and what we've learned together as a tribe in my community is that when we take action, we get results. And those results solidify our belief that what we are doing is working. And therefore, we tap into more of our potential and take more action. And that action gives us results. When we don't get the results we want, we pivot. We do something differently. We tweak it. Action leads to confidence. Clarity also leads to confidence. So when we are clear on what we're working on, what is meaningful, what is going to make a difference in our lives, and we spend time taking action on those items, we tend to see the results that we're looking for. If we don't see those results quite the way we want, we then pivot, we tweak, and we do something a little bit differently. So the second concept I'm teaching you today is about action leads to confidence. So take action and you will see how your confidence will increase as you see the results that you are getting. One of the benefits of taking action, even when you're not 100% sure of exactly how it's going to pan out, which is most of the cases, is that you learn by doing. As you try it and you see that it didn't quite turn out the way you want it, you can then take action that's proactive to change it so that you get a different result next time. And this is easy to do with projects. It's a lot harder to do in your personal life. Let's say, for example, in relationships, where we go into relationships with high hopes, right? Optimistic about the future. And time teaches you and teaches us who we are in this new relationship, or how we show up, or how the other person shows up, regardless of what has been said, right? We say things, but actions speak louder than words. And so it's also very important when you are in relationship to learn from past experiences, to say, hey, this didn't work out. What happened? What did I do? What was my role in this not working out? Perhaps there was a misalignment. Perhaps there was a miscommunication. And then all we can do moving forward is take proactive action and say, what will I do differently next time? And if we ever stop to think that if a relationship doesn't work, it's the other person's fault, that is the number one mistake that we make, to believe that it's the other person's fault. Every relationship requires two people, and the only part of that equation that we can control is ours. So even though it hurts, even though it takes putting our ego aside, it's important for us to reflect to see, how does this go down this road? What happened? What was my role in this? And what can I do differently moving forward? And the last thing that I want to do and talk to you about is tell you about doing something. So we talked about work-life integration, right? How do we integrate both our work and our life, even though they may not be balanced necessarily, but how do we incorporate the things that are important and meaningful to us in our life and in our work, right? And make it work. And the second one was action equals confidence. The third one that I want to talk to you about is do something. Do something. Do something. If things are not working out right now, if you're unhappy with the results you're getting in life, do something. Don't stay in the same path, because more of the same is going to continue to happen. What can you do differently that will change your outcomes? If, for example, you have a business and you've been marketing a certain way and you see that you're not getting the results you want, try something different. If you have been having conversations with your manager and you're still not seeing the progress that you wish you see in your career, try something different. In other words, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. I'm sure you've heard that before. So for you, what is that? What have you been doing over and over, expecting different results? It's time to do something different, to try something new, to explore, to get curious, and to wonder with possibilities as an outlook. What could happen here if I try something different? We're never going to have 100% certainty. We're never going to be told, if you do this, you will absolutely succeed. but we have to have courage. And that's what the leaders in my book, Healing Leadership, talked so much about during our interviews, which, by the way, you can listen to in the Visionary Leaders Circle podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts. We talked about having courage, living with courage. And courage simply means taking that step, even when you don't know what's going to happen. So I encourage you, as I wrap up this video post vacation, I invite you to live with courage, to integrate your life and your work in a way that works for you and no one else, because no one else has your responsibilities and your priorities. To take action, and you will see how taking that action will lead you to more confidence in your life personally and professionally. The two aspects of your world are not unrelated. When you gain more confidence at work, you also gain more confidence in your personal life and vice versa. And finally, do something. Don't stay stuck in the same place. If you keep doing the same thing and getting lousy results, tweak something, pivot, ask for help, ask for support. There's so many people around you that are brilliant, that have great ideas, that have potentially been down the path that you're trying to go down. Reach out to them, ask for help. And that, my friends, takes a great deal of courage to ask for support. So if you need any support from me, Dr. Ginny Barrow, I'm a leadership coach, career strategist, #1 best-selling author, and I help people like you find more clarity, take decisive action towards your goals, and create the life and the career that you most desire. It's what I love to do. My why is to fulfill my potential and to help you and my son fulfill theirs. So if you want to reach out to me, I'm at callwithginny.com. And whatever you do, do something. I'll talk to you soon.